Lois, I would really love to know. I want to start off with the National Sport Festival.
Yes.
Because Gateway Games 2024 is looking like it's going to set a benchmark for the future of the National Sport Festival.
Yes.
And I hear that MMA will be brought in.
Yes.
And maybe Dambe will be brought in. So tell us.
I think from what we've gathered from National MMA Federation, Dambe is coming in for the first time as a scoring sport, while mixed martial arts might come in as a performing sport, because I don't think they have enough states to perform. But they still have a few days to give us the last information if it's coming in as a scoring sport. But yes, we are excited. I mean, this is the first time we're having this. I don't know.
I know you're super excited, and it's something to be excited about, because MMA, for everyone, they feel like it's just a very harsh sport. You know, it's something that's will come with a lot of injuries, because body hitting is not for the faint-hearted.
Yes,
but it's getting traction in Africa. You're wondering, what's the reason why Africans are being interested in MMA? Why is it getting traction? 19 countries in the continent is huge for me. How many countries make the continent? So if 19 are participating fully, and we're having stars like Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, and even Ngannou, who is the co-chair of the PFL at the moment, I think it's something to be happy about.
Yes.
So why is this thriving in Africa?
Speaking of violence first, I think it's debatable that MMA is safer than boxing.
Wow, please prove that. I don't want to argue with my keyboard.
Oh, okay, no, not really, but okay, so boxing over time is trauma to your face, which we know can affect your head, you know, brain shaking and all of these things. But MMA is a well-rounded sport. You can watch an MMA fight without punches. So the trauma is not really to your face, it's not really to one part of the body, and is not as fatal.
Okay.
Yes. Speaking of why MMA is having its rise right now,
in Africa?
Honestly, I would give that to private promoters. There are a couple of them out there right now that are making sure that this becomes a sport. This becomes something that a lot of Nigerians can plug into, and not just Nigerians, but Africans. And I like the unity it brings, because we now have people from DRC Congo, we have people from Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, performing in under one body, and that's amazing.
At the time last year, I remember that the PFL came in to come launch and promised that they will bring fights to Nigeria, to Africa. But we told them, you have to bring it to Nigeria first. We're the giants of Africa. But we're still waiting, the time ticking, the days going by, the months, the year. We're yet to see any fights from the PFL. With the fact that we've got an African being a co-chair to the PFL, what are these constraints? I did talk about financial, limited facilities. What are the constraints of making these sports thrive in Africa?
I really cannot speak for the PFL. Okay. They might have, you know, works underground that we are not privy to. Okay. But some other promotions are doing very well, and it's a unity. And also, South Africa seems to be like the hub for this. Is unlike, you know, while some promotions use Nigeria has their hub. So maybe because we're not close enough. Okay. Because we have other promotions like the EFL doing really well in South Africa.
All right, South Africa, I know it will be a big pick. Even the Formula One is in South Africa at this time. What influence has the likes of Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, and Ngannou had to the rise of MMA in Africa?
Yes, I would give it shout out to Kamaru Usman. I think he has done extremely well in making sure that MMA becomes a thing in Nigeria. And following that up, we're having, you know, the government also plug into that to say, you know, let's have this in our national sport festival. Kamaru Usman is leading a charge called African Knockout, and it's a place where Africans...
And you did tell me that he solely funded that
allegedly.
Particular. Oh, okay.
Yes, seemingly solely funded the first ones. So yes, I started in collaboration with the Face of Fight Night series 1, 2, and 3. But from the fourth one, that was 2022, we started having just African Knockout up until now. We've seen amazing fighters. I cannot say this enough.
Are there female fighters there too?
Yes. I mean, we have Juliet. She's one of the best fighters I think we have in Nigeria right now. She's currently unbeaten with about 8 fights.
So women are also interested in these particular sports?
Young women particularly. We have Jane Osigwe. She's about 20 years old now, right now. Started fighting around 2022. watched her first fight, and she's doing amazingly well. 9 professional fights, 6 wins and 3 losses.
Is the future bright for them? Beg your pardon?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it can only go up from here. It is hard to see. I cannot picture it declining. Because the reason is that now we have African fighters getting actual contracts to EFL and the UFC. So we should be waiting for those grass to grace stories.
Grass to grace stories. I think we do not have the patience, because it's rare for you to see women get into this. For those who are into this, some of them started off with self-defense, they have stories behind this. And with the fact that every woman protects their faces, yes. You know how we don't want those patches, we don't want those swells all over. But I would really love to know, women in this, do they have a future? I ask again.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But it depends on what you want to do. And I will go back to how MMA started in Nigeria. Keep in mind that Nigeria already have bodies like kickboxing, judo, karate, which women have participated in the past. So now we are having Nigerian MMA Federation unify this. So some of them are coming from the kickboxing background, where the trauma is not to their faces. So I think they would catch up, yes.
Are there special rules when it comes to women in this sport?
No, just the crotch. Don't hate the crotch. Which we should actually check that, because the chest is actually a sensitive area. Yes, but you can't. It's called body shots. That's legal.
Okay, so with 19 African countries, already having a stronghold in MMA, is there a possibility that we would have more African countries, capitalize on the popularity of the sport?
Definitely. I think promotions like some promotions have had up to 15 countries, which is great. And particularly, I think it can unify and bring a lot of people off the streets. Lagos particularly have, some people called area boys. And if, as far back as 2020, the winner of African Knockouts got 6 million. If you pitch this to these boys...
so there is money in there?
Yes. Not as
so I get bitten to be paid?
Yes, but you do have to train.
All right, so it's attracted that huge sum of amount, but I would say it's little compared to what big franchises will give, because I see the bragging right. Yes, of course. Can we get there in Nigeria, in Africa? And get to that point?
It depends. I think a lot of unification needs to come, from promoters, from sponsors.
How do we make that enabling environment to give them that, gain that traction so they can come in?
I think it's based on the promoters and the fighters. The fighters need to be able to sell themselves in a way that other brands can plug in and say, I want you to be the face of my brand. We want to see, I particularly want to see a period where you'd see a standout fighter be an ambassador for Monster Energy, for a car brand.
So what about all the UFC legends? I'll call them legends right now, because
in their own right.
Yes, in their own right.
They're not doing very well right now.
What influence can they have? They should be able to. Yes, Kamaru Usman is doing something.
Yes,
we should have Israel Adesanya. We should have Ngannou come to Cameroon, do something in Cameroon. Don't you think we can leverage on their wealth of experience?
We can, but I really don't want to give them any excuses, because I've only seen a few. Kamaru is doing really well. I've seen when Anthony Joshua comes to the country, he trains with some of these fighters. You see him in local gyms, but I have not seen Adesanya do that. So maybe in the future, this should be some of the things they are open to. Bring coaches down, because keep in mind that the coaches teaching them right now are from different backgrounds. Only a few coaches are well-rounded. So we need...
That's another challenge,
Yes, we need coaches that are well-rounded to come and teach these fighters now, so that they can, go internationally. Another thing is that combat sports is a sport where the frame of your active years is really short. So we need it now. We don't want to get...
That's why I was asking about the women, if they've got future. You know how...
22-year-old, I think the world, she still has a lot of time ahead.
Has a lot of time in the sport?
Yes, she still actively till 35. That means she still has about 13 years, yes.
13 years to get beaten? To get hit?
Yes.
But why I'm asking these questions, Lois, is because we want to make this a performance sport at the National Sport Festival.
Yes.
You talked about coaches.
Yes.
Where are the few coaches that would, take participants in this National Sport Festival. Where are those protective gears that we have around? What kind of combat sport will be on parade for the National Sport Festival with all these you've mentioned?
Yeah. Oh, for the first time, we're going to have Dambe.
Yeah.
Dambe is coming up in National Sports Festival as a scoring sport this year. Surprisingly, we're having people from the East. Even though
participating in
Dambe, even though Dambe is a northern sport, actually Dambe predates UFC. And we've had, promoters like AWFC, African Warriors Fighting Championship, that have been able to plug into this and make sure, this is something we have. Now we are going, the zone and Stake are plugged into Dambe.
Yeah, those are the biggest ones.
The sky is
that's out of the continent.
Yes.
But Dambe, I'm always very, very particular about Dambe because of the whole traditional thingy.
Yes.
You cannot go into Dambe without being fortified. Yes.
Dambe is from the local interesting. Dambe is so interesting. I mean, that's one of it's spooky. When you hear, they're allowed to use
me a bit
charms.
Comfortable. Yes,
they're allowed to use charms. I think it's fair because that's also part of our traditional roots. And since the sport allows
it, is this allowed in the sport?
Yes, the sport allows it. Yes,
it's legal in the sport.
If you go to your jazz man, excuse my language, and the other one goes to his own jazz man, may your ancestors protect you.
So the best ancestor will win here,
I guess.
Oh,
I don't know if that's how it works, but I guess.
But that's a good thing to know that all these sports will be tried at the National Sport Festival, and the recent rise in the interest for mixed martial art is really mind-blowing. Every single one feels, yes, I can go in, get a few, a few hits, and I make the money. Yes, beat me. Let me make the money. Thank you so much, Lois. It's been an interesting conversation.
Thank you.
And we're hoping that we'll have you again when the National Sport Festival kicks off from the 16th.
Sure. I'll be live in Ogun State.
Ogun State, yes.
Starting from the 16th to the 30th.
Good. Then you are our person. Because we'll also be there. New Central will be there. So we should be able to spot you out and have this conversation when MMA kicks off for National Sport Festival.
I'll see you.
Thank you so much.
I can't miss you in the crowd, so I'll see you.
No, you will not. I'm a shining light.
Definitely.
Girl, thank you. All right, thank you. We've had Lois Ogunniyi. Of course, she is an MMA enthusiast and a sport journalist. She says she'll be at the National Sport Festival where MMA will make its first appearance in the number of sports that will be on the lineup for the National Sport Festival at the Gateway Games. So you're in for something beautiful. You're in for something wonderful. Something you don't know about MMA, you sure would hear. We wrap up this first session of our show. We'll return with more updates in the world of sports. Do not go anywhere, and the game continues.